Dylan Floro now available. First question's from Alana. Go ahead.
Hi, Dylan. What have you been most pleased with as far as your body of work over the course of this 60-game season?
I'm staying healthy. That's the key thing. But the way executing pitches, I mean, the way the changeups came along for me this year has been a big plus. And then the last couple outings, I think the key is just getting ahead strike one with a good pitch and then putting them away when I get a chance to.
What do you think has been the biggest development with that changeup? What have you noticed in terms of its progress?
I'm getting a lot more shape and movement on it. I mean, a lot more downwards to it where it really helps at the end of the day, helps my two seam and stuff like that, where they've got to focus on both that, especially the righties when I'm throwing it inside. They don't know if it's going to come more into them or drop out. I mean, I think what helps me with this is before I would try to throw it really as hard as I possibly could. Instead, now I'm just kind of staying back and letting the grip do more of the work.
How did that happen for you? Was that a conversation with Connor and Mark, or was it more of just a feel thing that you needed to get there on your own?
It was more of just a field thing, kind of over the little quarantine break I had, just knowing that I was going to have to face more lefties and needed something for that side of the plate, and now it's helping me out with the righties.
You were talking about first pitch strikes. How much has that been a conscious effort on your part to be able to attack the zone from the first pitch that you throw?
I mean that's one of the main goals with that. I think if you get ahead strike one, I mean, it doesn't matter who you're facing. Just like last night, facing one of the best hitters in the league, Mike Trout, and get in there early with the strike one that just puts the count. I mean, there's so many different ways you can go about as a pitcher. Throwing the next pitch, you can throw up for a ball. I mean, it just gives you so much more opportunities to maybe going your way.
How much do you feel like you're such more of a well-rounded pitcher now? As you mentioned, having to face guys, lefties a lot, both sides of the plate, being able to be so much more well-rounded.
I mean, I've come a long way since I first came over here. I mean, when I first came over here, I was just kind of barely getting into the big leagues a little bit. I'm still young, still got a lot to learn, but what the coaching staff and what they give us and provide to be prepared in the situations they bring us in to most succeed, I mean, it's given me a lot of confidence.
How well suited do you think this bullpen is for this postseason run? What do you like about your guys in terms of your chances?
Oh, I like them a lot. I mean, we got guys that can throw higher. We got guys that we got guys that locate. We got Kinley. I think since I've been over here, it's going on one of his best years yet so far since I've been here, and everything's clicking together in the bullpen, and it's gonna be a fun ride.
Thank you, Dylan. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next question's from Dave Bassett. Go ahead, Dave.
That's a pretty strong statement right there, Dylan, that Kenley's had his best year since you've been with the Dodgers. Why do you believe that?
I mean, just the way he's going out there and executing stuff. I mean, yeah, he's had a couple, some people, but I've had a couple too. I mean, it's going to come and go, but every time the worst he's had, I mean, he's got every save for us pretty much except for I think one. That's pretty unbelievable right there. I mean, just watching him throwing the bullpens and watching him go out in the game, the way his fastball looks, his cutter, I mean, everything looks harder to me and a little bit firmer, and he just looks good to me.
When you see him work as much as he's worked in between games this year, going out to the bullpen, what's the message that he's sending to the rest of the team?
I mean, I think he sent a message after last year, stepping up and going and doing stuff, knowing that he needed to put work in. I mean, the guy, he's unbelievable. I mean, he's proven himself for over 10 years. I mean, he's unbelievable. And now, but knowing that he knows there's something he knows he can do better, and he put the work in, I think, going in this offseason, and I think it's proven so far. I mean, just the way the cutters went. I mean, I've seen him hit up in the 90s now. I mean, he's made a lot of improvement. I like what I see.
One final question for you. Are you the most comfortable with quarantine since your family never talks to you?
Hey, we talk, but I don't mind the quarantine.
Thanks.
Next question is from Rome Calvert. Go ahead.
Hey, Dylan, did you kind of plan on going into this year throwing a changeup as much as you did, or was it one of those things that's just sort of dictated by the success that you've had against it, especially against lefties?
I mean, I know I needed to change up. I mean, I've always kind of had one, but it always kind of got pushed off, especially when I was more in the bullpen role. I stuck to my two-seam and slider. I mean, the last year or so, my slider hasn't been really that consistent as it was when I first came over here, and I'm still working on that. I mean, it's coming together. I threw 2 nights ago that I really like. We've been putting a little work on it, and the slider's coming along. But I knew I needed something, especially for lefties, and I had to get the changeup back and put a little more work into that coming into this year.
Got another question from Ken Grunick. Go ahead.
Dylan, it looks like Dave's using you quite a bit, bringing you into the middle of an inning, maybe with a jam, pressure situation. And I just wondered if those situations kind of, you focus on them, do you relish them? Some pitchers don't, but it looks like you do.
Oh, I relish on any situation I get a chance to help our team win a ball game. That's, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. I don't really care what the score is. I mean, my role as a bullpen guy is to come in there and pick up whatever, if it's picking up or if it's cleaning or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. I just want to pitch whenever I get the chance to.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dylan. Thanks, everybody.